with ILene Vick. It is Thursday, April 17th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I am live. It is week 16 of 2025, and in my neck of the woods, it is currently 66 degrees with a high of 74 and a low of 40. Whoop! Let's get that centered and holding still. Welcome to my broadcast. I am here for the next 3 hours for coloring, companionship, chat, friendship, giggles and laughs, pretty pictures, and the what, the how, and the why of adult coloring. In other words, I show you what I'm doing. I show you how to do that particular thing that I'm doing. And then I explain why I did what I did. That's what a good teacher does. Welcome to my YouTube peeps who come in and chat with me. That is always delightful. Welcome to my YouTube peeps who'll see this broadcast when they download it into, when they download it. Okay, let's try this again. And welcome to my YouTube peeps who'll see this broadcast after the fact. And welcome to my Facebook peeps who will see this broadcast when I download it into my group, Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. All right. So let's see who's popping in already. Tam, number 1. Mamie, so glad to see you. Mamie, so glad to greet you. All right, Bonnie. Hi, Bonnie. Miss Jonah, Janie, Grace. All right. So last night we had a really busy broadcast. I went through and I did a walkthrough of my new book, newest book, Elegant Embossed Eggs Jubilee, cover by Grace Janney. She did a beautiful job. Oh, Sarah said she'll be late. Tammy, thank you for telling me. And this book here is all embossed eggs. And I think the pictures out of here, once they're colored, oh my gosh, they'll be absolutely gorgeous. This sunset would be beautiful. So Grace, tell me about you coloring this page. Did you have any difficulty with it? What'd you think of it? Hopefully it was fun. And then, this is our buddy coloring. We have our 2 little fluff bums, aka chicks. Oh, printing dark in the image on my phone camera turns everything to yellow. These are called Peeps. baby chicks and also baby chucks. Hello, Angry Bear. So we've been working our way through this image. This is out of my book, Easter Parade Jubilee, which is somewhere in my stack. So there's this book if anybody's interested. We got a good do on this one, I think. Just the images are over the top adorable. Here's another image of some baby chucks. Chucks. Check it out. All right. Hello, Julie. So we worked on that last night, and then I made a modification to this image that I had finished several days ago. I expanded the width of the robe. And the point that I want to make on this is if you ever complete a piece and you get to looking at it and you want to update something, it's perfectly okay to do that. And then repost it in the group. So that's a good picture here. And then I have been working on Dark Fairy Tales. Angry Bear got us the book to color. She wanted to learn how to do a Kirby Roseanne's piece, and I've been showing her through doing this broadcast around it. Julie, you're not going to be on long tonight. I have not been feeling well today. Oh, sorry to hear that. So I still have the spikes to do on our wolf, some little dots here of stones, the pathway, and the background. So last night on this one, I started doing the greenery at the bottom. Now, again, guys, there is no particular order to doing your items on your page. All right. So let's get back to our Easter book. Get your paper towel. Get your scratch pad. And let's get coloring. Oh. I forgot to ask you guys, how could I forget this? How was your day today? Win, lose, or draw? And anybody have an anniversary or a birthday today? Kathy Skorinsky is having an anniversary today. Angry Bear draw, Tam Tam draw, Jonah draw, Grace kind of slow draw. Julie says lose because she's not feeling well. Bonnie has a, oh, Janie draw, okay. Bonnie has a win. Bonnie, what's your win? Actually, I'll say I've had a win. I got my Amazon delivery of the Jelly Belly. I love these for a little sweet after the after dinner. So I will call that a win. Has anybody ever had these Jelly Bellies? They're wonderful. Now, it's funny, they used to come in a container with a screw-on lid, but this one has a plastic bag. I was a little surprised to see that. But I like something a little sweet after dinner. Oh, buttered popcorn maybe? A&W cream soda. Pomegranate. A&W root beer. Caramel corn. Oh my gosh, these things are ridiculously delicious. Buttered popcorn. Okay, I must be, oh, there it is, up at the very top. And the really neat thing is because they're so good and the flavors are so potent that you can eat one at a time, which of course slows you down going through the candy, which is a good thing. They are really good. Bonnie, everything went well today and no backaches. Good. Am I like Ronald Reagan? He liked those too. Okay. So here's the project we're working on. Again, it is a buddy color. If you have a printer and you belong to my group, Teaching About Coloring with ILene Vick on Facebook, You can get this and 2 other images for free. Tam Tam says, my neighbor bought me a glass jar last year that says Jelly Belly on it that was filled. Oh ho ho. Okay. Tam, I think, or no, Karen. Tam, you do need to refill it. Now I've got you hungry for a Jelly Belly. Karen, how are you doing today? Now, I want to make clear to everybody, when you're doing grayscale, all right, I am so glad we're having these conversations, guys. It's a fun way to get to know each other. All right, here's the piece. It's free from my book, Easter Parade Jubilee. Let's get coloring. Let's get coloring. Let's get coloring. All right, so pick out your browns. And again, perfectly okay to have 4 or 5 different browns. At least have 3. Karen, how's your day today? Win, lose, or draw? Draw. Okay. So I'm going to poke around on the left-hand side here. And when you work on your straw around your baby chick, be sure you get in between those feathers. All right, and I still want a lighter brown. Let's see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a gold. And my neighbor has decided to mow their yard, and it is getting very dark outside. Okay. Now, that's okay though. That grass smell will come through while I'm in my studio, and that's very enjoyable, obviously. So if you're hearing kind of a rumbling in the background, that's what that is. Now, the whole idea here is that you want these different shades of brown. Oh, this is too funny. I moved my eraser, my pencil sharpener, it was to my left. And I'm right-handed. And I finally decided that it would make a lot more sense to put it in front of me. So I moved it. So, of course, when I go to sharpen, I still reach to the left. All right. Now, you should know that even though I'm coloring these pieces a solid gold, that you know I'm going to come back and shade these with a different color, right? So, for example, this piece right here, I'm going to come in with a darker brown. And we're going to get some dimension on that. Isn't that pretty? Okay, now let me go down to this little piece down here that's by the egg. Janie says Crayola has a nice golden yellow in their 50 pack. Okay. All right. Isn't this beautiful? Now, I don't want you to get fussy about coloring the harvest gold as well. About coloring the exact same pieces of the nest that I am. Okay, Bonnie, thank you. Now, some of these pieces just have lighter parts in the center. Hello, Angie. Angie's number 8. Yeah, guys, again, if you're liking what I do in the broadcast, we have 16 people in here, but 10 likes. And I'll pull out in a second so you can get a lay of the land as to how this is looking. All right. Now, let's get this area up here. Angie, how's your day going? Win, lose, or draw? Okay, let's pop down here. Angie, you're going to say a win. How so? You found out that the CT scan was negative behind your ear. Amen. All right, let me pull out so you can start to see this. That you have is from all the... Did you mean 8 surgeries you've had? So they are referring you to physical therapy and pain management. Oh, ear surgeries. Okay, guys, check out the basket. Now, I want you to make sure that this basket is not something that you just throw color on. and blow it off as a bunch of wheat. You want to build up your colors. And you guys know that I always tell you is take the area that you're working on very seriously. All right, you have had a lot of surgeries. Grace, you found your golden yellow. Angie, you're also doing this picture. You're loving it. All right. And let's move up a little bit. And let's move over. And let's go over some more to the right. See how we've got a lighter area up here in this one straw? Now remember, we're going to come back in and we're going to detail this in. Okay. So let me pull out. Yeah, I remember you saying that you self-taught the sign language. Now I'm going to backtrack a little bit. At the very bottom of your hay is actually a basket. So I'm going to pull out the brown that I put in here. How many of you own an electric eraser? Absolutely love mine. Let's see where. Now, Angie, you love yours and you're getting ready to get a backup one. Okay, now this basket being down here at the very bottom is very dark. So I'm going to go with a totally different color. Specifically, I'm going to go with a nice blue. Julie, take care. Julie, soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur. Happy kitty, sleepy kitty, purr, purr, purr. Okay. So I'm going to get some pretty bold blues here. So get yourself a light, medium, and dark blue all in the medium range. And actually, instead of going with blues, I'm going to go with purples. I think that's going to look cooler. And the reason that I say that is because our flowers are in the purple range. So let me show you the purples that I'm choosing. That first one's obviously blue, so that goes away. Now be very careful and make sure that your purples are distinct because we are working in such a dark area. Let's see. So there's my dark purple. There's my medium purple. And my light purple. Let's see here. Okay, Janie, thanks for letting me know. Oh, let's see what we got here. Yeah, I'm going to go with those three. Dark, medium, and my light. Now let's get this basket defined. And that way we won't miss it like I started to. Excuse me. So I'm going to start out with my dark purple. And that way we can define where this little puppy and how it wraps around. Now, what do I always tell you? Don't pound your pencils into the paper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and find all my purple parts on my basket so that we can get a good feel for how this thing wraps around. Now, it's a flat basket actually. It's not very high. It's more like a little tray. Now, if you're not sure as to what's basket and what is the straw, do the parts that you can definitely see, and then you can go back and add in as necessary. And if you need to add your own by guessing, by gosh, how this thing curves around, that's fine. Do that. Hi, Sarah. I used the light, medium, and dark brown, Angie, and then a gold. Okay. Now, don't carry your basket up too high. Like I said, we want to make this more of a basket tray. All right, let me pull out. Okay, Tam Tam. Okay, now I'm going to come back in with my gold. And we'll get this hay defined around the outside. And notice that the majority of this hay is this gold color. But having said that, we'll come in and detail, of course, our remaining pieces. Now be careful on the left-hand side. Notice how we just have the strands of the hay and that egg is going to show through. Now, let me pop down back to the basket. So Sarah says, hi, people keep asking me if you have any more of the critters in tutus because they love my work and want to see more of it. So guess you're right, I'm going to color the whole book. And lucky for them, that little puppy is available on Amazon. Okay, now I'm coming in with my lighter purple. Blending, 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 rawhide. Tam Tam, you're going to get that book? Angie, you do it through Messenger. Contact me on Messenger. You tell me what book you want. I'll send you a payment request. And then I send you the book. Okay, let me pull out. Now, I still have this initial brown that I started with, that lighter, it's a darker gold than the gold that I put in. So I'm going to come back to that. And I'm going to come in with my darker brown. Sarah, I'm not aware of any freebie squirrels that I have, but I can go ahead and create one for you. People can purchase individual images from me. They're $1.49 each, or 2 for $2. I'm sure I can come up with. Oh, there you go. Grace says there's some squirrels in the Mousing Around Jubilee Volume 2. Now, notice how I'm adding the darker brown to that light brown that I had started. Sarah, you don't have to buy the whole book. You can purchase individual images from my books. Oh, Sybilesk, hello, didn't see you there. Hi, Stephanie. Now, notice how I'm starting to add that darker brown to both the gold and that medium brown. Now, I don't want you to get random with this. I want you to think about, as you're doing each straw piece, how that second brown is going to look. Okay, Sarah. Thanks for letting me know. Now I've got a little bit of yellow from my fluff bums here that didn't quite make it out to the edge, so we'll go ahead and get that done. Let me pull out. And notice how adding that little bit of brown to that hay that I just put in on gold makes all the difference in the world. And this is another example of how your multiple colors in something really makes a difference. So anywhere that you put in your gold on your hay, you need to go back in with your darker brown and add that little bit of shading and shadowing. It's really shading. Shadowing is when you create a shadow underneath something. Okay, now we've got some of this hay at the bottom. Let me go to the right and catch this piece as well. And don't forget to turn your pencil. Let's get a little more gold in here. All right, and back to my dark brown. And then I'm going to pop in a medium brown right into this little area here. Not as dark as that dark brown. And notice how I'm using that blending. And I'm merging that color, all the colors, with that slightly darker brown. Excuse me, slightly lighter brown than the darker brown that I was using. So Sarah, you're excited because your old coworker who was a mid-tech, who now is a manager at Kroger, is going to be coming by where you work to see you. All right, now don't wipe out your basket. There's my dark purple. And then our medium. Now, look how beautifully everything's coming together. All right. Medium brown. Sarah, you just haven't seen each other in a few years just on Facebook. I said, don't forget me or I'll be in there. And she said, that's not possible. Okay, medium brown. And then back to my darker brown. I'm sorry, Sarah, what's your comment? See, I am love off camera. And I want you to notice how all of this is coming together now. Let's get up in the upper right hand corner. And oh, you were talking about your coworkers, and some of them really do still love you. Oh, that's good. And again, I'm using my darker brown. Oh, from a lot of your old jobs. And look how cool now this is starting to look. You just got to work your colors, guys. Sarah, what I would suggest is that you do a basic brown underneath where you're going to put your grass, because since you've already brought it up, this is what I'm going to be doing on mine, is I'm going to be adding basket grass to this. And you can either add it that it fully covers, or you can add it sporadically. This is a perfect candidate for the basket grass. Okay, now notice how I'm working my way over from the right hand side to the left. And also notice that I'm going to finger blend this because I want this to look soft. But before I add any of the basket grass, I've got to color this egg. Any questions about the way I'm creating this nest for you? All right, let's go around here a little more. And I'm using my darker brown both on the lighter hay color that I put in, check out how that's filling in beautifully. Mamie, will you please put in the link for the critters and tutus, since we've been talking about them? It's Critters and Tutus Jubilee. Oh man, is this beautiful? What's an RCA? CNA is what? Certified Nursing Assistant? Oh, Resident Care Associate, no license. Finger blend. Isn't that pretty? Okay, now, Payne's Gray. We need to shadow underneath our fluff bums to give us some more dimension. And I started to do it earlier. See how I did that? Now, be sure when you do your shadowing that you don't wipe out that little frilly bottom part of the feathers. You've got to color in between those little spiky parts. Check it out. Now, we've got a little bit of a straw piece right here. So I need to go on the other side of it and add that shading underneath the fluff bum. And then as I come around the outside of the egg, we have the straw on top of the egg. But then as we move to the left, we have the egg resting directly on the straw. And this is where we can go to adding our shading underneath it. It's our shadow. Any questions? And this makes this look really cool. All right, let's continue here. Notice how I'm adding a shadow underneath our footy. Guys, make sure that you understand what I'm doing here. And then we'll move over to the left in between the toes. And then over to the left underneath our other chick. And notice how I'm working that shadowing in between the feathers on the chicks. Now, when I pull out, you'll see how really cool and dimensional this looks. Finger blend, soften that up a little bit. Susan, are you going to send me those pictures of those lanterns that you found on Amazon? Okay, let me pull out. Check it out. Oh, Stephanie, it was you. Okay. Guys, what do you think? Any questions? Now I'm going to start up a little bit on this egg. And I'm going to use pinks, blues, maybe a little bit of green. So we've got our light, medium, and dark brown pink. And then I'll come in with a very light pink. Let's see, that's still too dark. Okay, Sarah. And then I'm going to use that lighter pink. Okay, here's a picture of a lantern that Stephanie just sent. Give you an idea how to color one. She said she's going to be sending several pictures. Okay. Light pink on the second band. Here's another picture. And then another little splotch here of pink. Just a little bit darker. So I got a question for you guys about Easter. Are you going to use real Easter eggs this year, given the price of eggs? Or are you going to do something else? Grace says no. $7 for a dozen eggs. Absolutely disgusting. And of course, Angie, the only eggs you'll have is deviled eggs with your ham. Okay, there's my light pink. And I'm just going to add just a touch of my darker darker pink. I find it really interesting that all this issue came up about bird flu, that they culled a lot of chickens. Their inventory is back up on their chickens, but yet the price of the eggs never dropped back down. And of course, you know that's typical that once something goes up like that, they're not going to reduce it. Okay, I'm just going to do... Oh, Stephanie, you can't find the other colors? That's fine. It gives people an idea. Okay. I think we got a good do on this tonight. Let me pull out. Time to switch projects. Guys, don't forget to post your WIPs. Check it out. Creak. Okay. And again, this is Easter Parade Jubilee. And I think this piece is turning out really well. Next project, Dark Fairy Tales. Tam Tam, good night. Bonnie, good night. Jonah, good night. I hope you guys are having fun with our Easter picture. Angie, good night. Okay, last night I was working on the flowers and the leaves. We have our light, medium, and dark greens. So I put my light green in for the colors. And now I'm going to come in with my medium and my dark. Here's my medium colors, water-based marker. And don't forget that because you get a little puddle of marker material, it's just the dampness of the marker. That when you put that color in, because what it is you're putting it on top of wax pencils, and that wax is stopping the marker from soaking into the paper. Stephanie, good night. Oh, you're putting your color area back together tomorrow night. That's cool. Now, when you touch your page with your finger, don't move your finger. You just want to do a straight up and down. Now, I'm going to come back in with a darker green water-based marker yet. And we're just going to put a little bit of that color in between the leaves. And check out how that immediately creates our dimensional look. Okay, leaves to the left. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right here. I am stuck in the middle with you. Here's our medium dark. And then our darker green. Don't wipe out your light green leaves. Okay. I'm going to go to the far right. Let me show you this greenery first and how it's looking. Let's get our bunch of leaves in the upper right hand corner of this area. Same method over here. And then my darker marker. Okay, Sibylesque. Thank you. Now, using my darker marker, I don't know why that makes me laugh every time I say it. Darker marker, darker marker. Say that 3 times quickly. And again, we want to dab off that little extra marker that we have. And then I'm going to come back in with the lighter of my darker markers here. As I'm sliding off camera. And then I'm going to come in with my darker marker. And we'll go ahead and detail in on the leaf. And notice that I'm concentrating on basically the veins. And then we'll go to our next leaf, same thing. Angry Bear, how's it going for you? Okay, let's get this bunch here in the lower right-hand corner. Now, you need to be careful because some of the dirt road shows up in between. Angry Bear, what does pretty good mean? You think your picture's looking good? Excellent. And then I'm going to come in with the darker green of the two markers. And we'll detail that a little more even. Notice I'm sticking towards the center of the leaf. And I've got a little bit of an underside of the leaf right here. Details, guys, details. Look how cool that looks. My Linda, so glad to see you. So how is thumb number 17 doing this evening? I said, how is thumb number 17 doing this evening? Much better. Oh, glad to hear it. By the way, I just found a little area in my greenery that I hadn't done my multiple colors with, and my multiple shades of green. So there's my medium. And there's my dark. Okay. Now I'm going to do the dirt. So the trick here is to have a different color than my other browns and my tree and my wolf, but still be cohesive with everything else that's going on. Hi, Allie. Allie Oop. Hey, Maggie. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to one and all. So I'm going to come in. Let's see. I'm going to come in with a medium brown. Let me get to oh, there's a clean spot. And it's going to it's more of a goldish brown. Okay, Sibylusk. It's a Lyra pencil actually, and it's called brown ochre. So let me start to the left. Now, we've got little stones and pebbles here. So we need to make sure that we color around those. Now, it looks like I've got a little grass area here that I missed. So I'll pop in that green. And then my darker green. Now, take your time when you're doing this road or path. Now this is going to pull everything together. I'm going to go down to the bottom here, to the bottom left. So, my Linda, tell us something fun this evening. Although I guess you already did when you said that you were feeling better. Take your time. So, my Linda, you got off early. Tomorrow is a holiday. So, my boss let us off 2 hours early. Your boss sounds like a keeper. I remember you telling us that she also let you guys off early during Christmas. In fact, didn't she close down for a few days? Okay. Back up here on the main part. You get a week and a half off from Christmas to New Year's. That's the board of directors' decision. But yes, the day before she let us go early, it's like a reward. Well, it sounds like you guys deserve it. My Linda? Oh, you don't have much money for bonuses or raises, so she does what she can. That is really cool. I wanted to show you the fluff bums and how they're coming out. Yeah, they do look soft. That's the idea. Okay. Back to our clearing. Now, look how really cool this is starting to look. Now we have another little grassy area here that I missed. Now let me go back and get that little grass area before I forget it. This time I'll come in with my light first. A little bit of our medium green, not much. And then our dark near the edges. Check it out. All right, let's keep going here. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of pebbles on this. Okay. And look how cool this is already looking. Let me pull out. And I'll tell you what, this piece is really looking rich. And I'll tell you what, guys, this attention to detail and taking our time with our little rocks here, absolutely worth it. Guys, what do you think so far? Okay. So who's been coloring tonight while I've been coloring? Now, of all things, it looks like we have a flower here in the middle of the pathway. Okay, my Linda, thank you. Okay. This brown is absolutely gorgeous. Now, does it take a little time to get in to do this? Yes. But it's going to be well worth it. All right. Now let's pop up in between our legs here. Now, I've got a little bit of the wolf's leg, for whatever reason I left blank, who knows. I may have started chatting with somebody and got sidetracked. So I'll come in with my light gray to start, because we don't want a black blob in that area. And then I'll come in with my darker gray. All right. And then I'll come back with my brown and continue working on this roadway or path. And I have managed to, unbelievably, misplace my pencil. Oh, I hate that when I do that. There we go. All right, I got a couple more minutes here. All right, let me pull out. And you can take a look at how cool this is looking. Now, you know I'm going to do shading and shadowing on this, right? I'm sorry, Sybilesk, not me what? What you talking about? All right, let me get just this little bit done here and then we can wrap it up. Sybilesk, what did you mean when you said not me? Okay, let me pull out, show you how far I got. Check it out. Angry Bear, is this coming together for you? Okay, here's the photo that Angry Bear just sent. Looking good. Okay, I'm at a good stopping point. Not to mention the fact that I've run out of time. I think we've got a good do on this so far. So tonight we've been working on our Kirby Roseanne's picture. And we worked on our fluff bums. I think they're coming out beautifully, and I think you'll be very happy with the way this picture develops. Okay, guys, this is ILene Vick for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. Guys, joyous coloring. Love on each other, that's what this group is known for. And of course, I'll see you tomorrow night, same time, same place. Guys, please hit that like button. I know a lot of you have so far. Thank you. And please share this broadcast so somebody else can enjoy the companionship of what we do in here. Okay, guys, take care. And now that we're done with the coloring session, go stuff your face on a snack. All right, guys. Till tomorrow night then. Bye. Oh, excuse me.